I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
Seven, what was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 247 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your host, Kam.
I'm your host, Flowz.
And you know the drill by now, guys. Make sure you head over to our Instagram and Twitter pages. That's SZN Pod and SZN Podcast. Link in the bio on both of those pages there. That will take you to where we're situated at streaming-wise. So if audio is your speed, you got the usual stuff like Spotify, Apple Podcast links. And if you like visuals, then we have the YouTube channel link there as well. So take hit whichever one takes your fancy, really. TikTok page link is there too. TikTok's doing great. Thank you for the support on that. We're going to continue to upload regularly on the TikTok. So yeah, make sure you do that for us, guys. SZN Pod and SZN Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Flowz, another week. How are you doing, my friend? You good?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Yes. I'm good, bro. I'm good. Fresh off from the worst big weekend in boxing history. We we go into this one here, obviously, and this weekend a lot less. I guess we can say it's not the star powered names weren't there, but at least we got better fights this weekend from what we can see anyways. So yeah, I think the fights were better this weekend, right? It's not hard though. It's not hard to beat what happened the previous weekend.
Well, yeah, the action was good this weekend, which is almost a return to normality.
Good. Yeah, good. So two sort of main fights, I guess, that are talking points of this week. First one was Anthony Cacace versus Lee Wood, which we'll start obviously with. Because obviously that was over here on these shores. Was it in Nottingham? I think it was in Nottingham. Nottingham, which is the home of Lee Wood. But Anthony Cacace is the champ. And yeah, Anthony Cacace, he's on to be honest, bro, he's on a very good run, to be honest. Since he won that title from Joe Cordina, I believe it was, great fighter, to be honest. He's gone through Warrington, and now he's gone through Lee Wood, who himself is a good fighter and always in good fights. But yeah, props to Cacace because he's on a top tier run. Especially, he's 36, he's not young. Cacace is not young. He's actually old. But he's having a bit of an Indian summer. He's getting stronger and faster as he gets older. So shout out to him. I said Lee Wood's always in good fights, bro. And I think last night was no different, right? This was another cracker of a fight between both guys who left it all in the ring. But yeah, highly enjoyable stuff. So as I come to you, what were your initial thoughts of, I guess, the fight from what you saw?
Yeah, it's definitely a great fight from round one. And like you say, Lee Woods and Cacace both fighters that we haven't really had on our radar early on in their career. I don't think we expected them to be in huge fights and in title contention. And they both come on leaps and bounds, really.
Yeah.
I guess based on form, I've been liking what I've seen from Cacace. No one expected him to beat Cordina. Well, I certainly didn't.
I didn't. Nope.
Yeah, I certainly didn't.
Yeah.
And probably had him as favorite to win this purely because he beat a Cordina. I think Cordina's a better boxer than Lee Wood. But yeah, great fight. Both came to fight.
Yeah.
We know what Lee Wood brings anyway. He's always in good fights. He's always trying to scrap.
Yeah.
And Cacace matched him.
Yeah. Matched him, to be honest, and I think was just sharper, right? He boxed better than Lee. Was sharper. He was, I thought from what I could think, he boxed really well. He used the ring really well as well. It's just that obviously with Wood, one thing Lee Wood always brings is a lot of heart and that sort of like water win. And I think there were times where I think obviously towards the latter end of the fight where Cacace started to have serious success. I think the ninth round was a cracking round, to be honest, bro. Yeah. And this is when it ended. But obviously he's caught Lee Wood, and we've seen Lee sort of stumble back against the ropes. heavily, to be honest. And the ropes kept him up. If the ropes weren't there, it would have been counted. So obviously the ref, he would have gone down. So the ref counted that as a knockdown correctly. But obviously what ensued after was obviously Cacace trying to go in for the kill. And we've seen these two just go on an all-out scrap. And it's times where I'm looking at Lee and thinking, oh, he could go here. And suddenly he's landing a good shot, a big shot himself. Yeah. And he's catching Cacace. So it was super exciting and back and forth in during that 9th round. But I think Cacace just, again, had that a bit more poise to be able to pick his shots better and land those shots. And it's interesting because Cacace, Lewis Wood is someone that, even though he's been stopped, we've seen him stopped by Lara. Lara stopped him. But in general, I don't think Wood is someone that's particularly chinny. Like, he's strong. He's a strong fighter, as you can see. And he has decent powers of recovery. And Cacace, you look at his record, bro, it isn't someone that's big. He's only got 8 knockouts. He's not someone that has, because of a lot of power. But these shots look big. The shots looked, bro, the shots looked harmful. Like, I'm watching it through the screen. I'm thinking to myself, oof, that's a peach of a shot. So maybe he has a bit more power as he moves up in weight. Maybe, he's got more power than I guess, the fight that belies his record. But no, he was picking some lovely shots in there. And Lee Wood was never going to, he was never going to quit or go down. That's the type of fighter Lee Wood is. So it took until him going down again and beating the count, and then obviously facing that onslaught where the referee was looking. There was one point where Lee just turned his back and almost ran away.
Yeah, that point was a wrap.
That point, I'm thinking, okay, the referee's going to jump in now, but the corner threw him. I think the referee was about to jump in anyway, to be fair.
Yeah. Once you turn your back and start sprinting in the ring, it was only for a few seconds, but he turned his back to get away.
Because he was getting cooked.
He was getting pieced up. He was getting caught. He was becoming easy to hit. He wasn't laying down. He was still trying to throw and he was still trying to clinch to survive. But when that happens, it kind of tells the tale. When you turn your back and sprint, I think you mentioned the Lara fight. It was Ben Davidson who threw in the towel, remember, last time. And
yes, it
Ben
was.
Davidson again today who threw in the towel.
Yes.
Yeah, he launched that towel in there, and no complaints from me.
Wasn't the Lara fight we were saying, Ben? I don't know. I feel like the Lara one we was thinking. Obviously, we know Lara's a finisher, but he wasn't. He was in more dire straits in this one than the Lara fight. I think I remember when we talked about the Lara fight, we were saying Ben, you could have given him a bit more of a chance, but this one, fully no complaints. Because Cacace was on him. You're right, though. He dashed that thing, I've never seen the title go so far.
He launched it in there, and it's because he turned his back and done a little dash. And I could come here and say that towel was thrown in too early, maybe.
Okay.
What I will say is that Ben Davidson, I think he likes to protect his fighters. He doesn't mind. He's not against throwing in the towel, as we clearly see. He will do that. He'll launch it in there if he feels he's protecting his fighter, save them for another day almost. He's very quick to do it. That's not a bad thing. Look, we've questioned it in the past. Maybe, I don't know if people questioned it today, but he was getting the breaks beat off him at points. Mm-hmm. So I ain't mad at it. We know Ben Davidson, and Lee Wood knows him, of course. So I don't see any complaints with that, really. But yeah, if Ben Davis is in your corner, just get ready.
I'm finished.
So that's how I'm coming.
Get ready to.
If you're taking a beating, he's gonna launch it in
there. Yeah.
That's fine.
So just a quick correction as well. Obviously, I said that Cacace is a champion. He has the IBO belt. He did have this. He vacated. I forgot. Yeah, he vacated. He had the IBF champion. So he won the IBF belt against Cordina. And he then vacated before he fought. After I think he fought Warrington. Yeah. So this isn't for this. The fight against thing he wasn't for. It was just only for the IBO belt. But he's still at that weight class, Cacace. Do you remember his reasons for vacating? I can't remember.
Yeah. So because I remember the Warrington fight, they didn't sanction Warrington as a challenger. Didn't sanction it. So he had his belt, but he fought Warrington.
Yeah, to make the Warrington. Yeah, okay.
And then after that, he vacated purely because I think he just wants the big British fights as opposed to fighting the other champions. He's you say, he's 36. Yeah. I don't think he wants to see a Fulton or the other champions. They're not going to make him as much money.
It's the big, yeah. Obviously, at 30,
Yeah.
he says 36. I remember now the statement saying obviously he kind of achieved everything he wanted to achieve by becoming world champion. He's done that. Take that off his list. So now I guess he's looking for the big money fights or the big name fights. And yeah, there's some British rival. Okay, Warrington, they brought in good bread. Funny enough, yeah, a fight with Warrington and a fight with Wood probably brings in more bread than a fight with Fulton, if we're keeping it a buck. So, you know what, bro? I'm not mad at that. You know, he's 36. He's achieved. So yeah, he's been in his weight class his whole career as well. So yeah,
he's better than Warrington. He's better than Woods. Okay,
yeah,
Woods we've seen.
yeah.
Fulton, you start putting in challenges that are a bit steep now.
Tough,
But look,
yeah.
and he's not getting younger. He's
To be
already
fair,
beaten
Fulton's
Cordina.
yeah. The other champions in this weight class as well, by the way, obviously is you got Navarrete, who we'll talk about a bit later.
Yeah.
But Shaq Foster and Lamont Roach Jr. So these guys are all strong competitors, to be fair. Yeah. No, I hear it. But obviously he's won in good fashion, so I'm sure there would be calls to say, you know, would you want to challenge again, go for another title, fight one of these Americans or Navarrete or whatever. So I'm sure the calls are for that. And I wouldn't mind seeing that, to be fair, if they do make that, because he's still alive, Cacace. He doesn't seem he's not showing signs of decline or slowing down. And actually, as you said before, he wasn't on our radar before, bro. But I enjoy watching his bro. Like his fights have been good. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, he looks legit, getting stronger, getting better from
Bro,
what I'm seeing.
yeah. He looked mean in there against Wood. And Wood's not a small touch. Wood is good. So
look, even if you remember that ninth round, that ninth round, it was Wood who was sticking on him early on.
Yeah.
And he overcame that. They dropped Wood.
Yeah.
So he's looking dangerous. He's not just a boxer; he can fight too.
Yeah, for sure. Nice win. Wood will come again. He's not. I won't count him out at all. But yeah, it's just a bit of levels here. And Wood himself has been champion too, right? So I think in the weight class below, maybe. So he's tasted it. He's been at that world level. He knows what it's like. But yeah, big up both fighters, man. It was a really good fight. The second big fight, I guess, of the evening of that day was, as I mentioned, Navarrete. He was defending his belt against a Charlie Suarez. Spoken about Navarrete many times in this pod. I'm a fan of him and his awkward language style. We last saw him out against Oscar Valdez. I think that was their second fight where he stopped viciously, actually. He was looking to defend. He did defend, but Flowz, this one came with an element of controversy because the fight ended in the 8th round. Again, it looked like it was another competitive fight, wasn't it, bro? Between two Mexicans, standard affair. Navarrete is another one that's always in great fights, to be honest. I enjoy watching his fights, just watching him, or just he's either in the war or something. But the fights ended due to two fighters had coming together, right? And then a nasty cut opens above Navarrete's eye after this coming together. They've deemed it as a result. It's a nasty gash. It's teeming with blood. So doctors obviously look at it. They decide to stop the fight. They've deemed it as a result of a accidental clash of heads. And due to it being stopped for accidental clash of heads, it's been ruled as a technical decision, and victory has gone Navarrete's way. We've seen the replay, bro. And replay, slow-mo, they've showed a different angle. Because there is a coming together of their heads, but they don't bump heads. They more just like scrape upwards. But what did it before the scrape upwards of the heads? Suarez has landed a punch on Navarrete. Awkward looking shot, kind of, but it's a punch. And it's quite clear, I think, from just the footage we saw, bro, that the actual cut has come as a result of the punch. And if that's the case, this decision technically isn't valid, I guess, in that sense. Or the fight couldn't continue. Or if the rule is right, if it's stopped by a punch, stoppage, it counts as a stoppage, right? Yeah. So bit of controversy there, bro. I mean, you could see it was a punch as well, right?
Yeah, it looked like a punch to me. Initially, when I'm watching it, I thought maybe it was a headbutt. Yeah, they do come together, and I think Navarrete kind of dips his head, and he looks like But then from the angle I saw the replay, it looks like a clean punch.
Yeah.
A clean punch. And I don't want to say Navarrete kind of, but that eye gave him problems because he was winning the fight, Navarrete. He looked like he was backing him up. He was super aggressive as always, landing combinations. But after that cut, it was giving him hell. The cut was giving him hell. He even stopped early in the round. And it seemed like he didn't really want to continue with it, which is fine. It was a bad cut. Not the worst cut we've seen, but it was a bad cut. And it seems like they kind of bust him with that one. I've not seen any other angles, so maybe my mind will change. But from the angle I saw, it looked like a clean punch.
So I remember the time when we saw Franco versus who was it?
Oh yes.
Joshua Franco versus who was it, man? Who was it?
Yeah.
This infamous one. Was it the Australia fighter? Hang on, let me check. Get it now. Franco Maloney. Andrew Maloney, yeah. And it stopped after the eye injury, accident clash ahead. But isn't that the fight where we saw the video replay come into play?
No, it wasn't. They had it, but they didn't use it. That's what happened. I think they had. There was controversy because they had it.
Because they had it, and
they
used it.
They used it wrong. They still
there was.
Wrong.
That's why it's a bit.
Yeah.
So we have seen video, but is it only certain commissions, bro, that have that video access to the video replay? Because what would have stopped in this fight? Another top ranked card, by the way, from consulting the video replay to see if it was actual clash of heads or not. I can't remember if it's certain commissions or if it's only certain areas. Yeah. I feel like it's that because that fight was in Vegas. I don't know if it's only Vegas. I remember reading how Vegas they have access to that, but it might not be anywhere else in the US commissions or whatever that have access to video referee. But we have seen, the point is we've seen video refereeing in boxing before for this kind of stuff. So that was my first thought because obviously, like I said, it's quite a harsh decision on Suarez. About whether to stop the fight or not, but there is access to video refereeing, but I just don't know the full ruling in terms of who access to it or not.
Well, I
have to do some research on that
because that was a top ranked card. This was also a top ranked card.
Yep.
So I don't know.
It might be based on commission, bro. I think it might be based on commission. So Vegas commission have it, but not all commissions have it. But it's probably something we need to see, right? For things like this.
Well, they had it last time and they done the same mistake. So
they did make a mistake.
Maloney landed a punch and they ruled it a headbutt.
Yep.
And we've seen the same today. And they had the video then. I can't remember if they even looked at it or if they looked at it and they still ruled it. Some controversy there.
But it would be good to have it if that makes sense for I guess for commission purposes and whatnot. That'd be great. But I'm not too sure what the situation was there, to be honest. But as you said, Navarrete got bust, Navarrete bust case, and we'll see. We'll see what happens there with where he goes on to next. But bro, let's move on to next week. We have a card in the UK, a rematch. Dave Allen, Johnny Fisher. Man, Flowz. What are your thoughts on this fight, on this rematch? Are you happy this rematch is coming to play? Who's under most pressure here? It's obviously Johnny Fisher, right?
Yeah. Dave Allen's under no pressure. He was expected to lose. He was brought in to lose, maybe. Yeah. And he put up a show. He started beating up Johnny Fisher, dropped him, and Johnny Fisher couldn't recover, is the truth. He couldn't recover, and he was taking a beating. But he showed heart in there, which is something you want to see from fighters. He showed heart, he showed resilience, because his legs were gone for the rest of the fight. But he stayed in there and showed poise. So we have to give Johnny Fisher credit for that. I think we both roasted him a bit because he shouldn't be struggling against Dave Allen. Here's the truth of the matter. But he got caught, he got hurt, and he survived. and he got bust. Is the truth of it. He got beat. He got busted as well. Because a lot of people had Dave Allen winning that. So he got fortunate in that sense. I expect him to come out and actually do it properly this time.
Handle business.
Johnny Fisher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, you can't go life and death again. You can't get dropped. You can't be controversy. Do the job, bro.
It's probably going to be the classic case of the fancied fighter struggling really badly in the first fight, getting the gift, and then rectifying their wrongs in the second fight. We saw it the other time, Ben Whitaker, even though that's still a bit controversial, but you know what I mean? Like, it's probably going to be that classic case. Look, man, Dave Allen boxed superbly that first fight. Obviously, these two know each other very well, and it clearly showed how well they know each other because Dave Allen looked like he knew every single one of Johnny Fisher's traits. I'm thinking back to that first fight, bro. Johnny Fisher was a mess. A hot mess. Like, Johnny Fisher was a state. So, seeing it, like, the way he was, every shot after he got hurt, how his legs never recovered it, he was all over the ring. Bounced from pillar to post. It was peak. Dave Allen knows he can hurt him. Dave Allen knows he can hurt him. And obviously he's going to come through with a lot of confidence due to that. So it's really important that for Johnny Fisher to, I think, be focused from minute one because Dave Allen's probably going to try and rush him, to be honest, bro. Based on the fact that he thinks he can hurt him, he can get him out of there or whatever. So Dave Allen's going to go try and rush him. So Johnny Fisher's got to be very careful. I think start a bit tentatively behind the jab on the outside and just work your way into the fight. That's the best thing he can possibly do, I reckon, for that's the only way he can have his success. But yeah, just like you, bro, I think he will have some hairy moments, but overall, he'll be able to rectify the issue and right the wrongs, even though he's already got the win in his record. The first one scored a win for him, right?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
Was it a draw or win? I think it was a win.
Oh, let me check. I think it might have been.
I think it was a win. And look, I think I watched it afterwards. I saw the outrage, and I don't think it was a robbery.
I remember you saying the day. I think. Yeah.
I think. Did I watch it live? I think it was close.
Yeah, it was split decision. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was close. It could have gone either way, but I think the rounds before Fisher got hurt, he was winning, and he even showed heart in one of the rounds after he got hurt, and I think I gave him one of those rounds too. So, yeah, I think it was close. He just needs to put some distance this time round. Dave Allen's there to be beaten.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah. If he can't get past the likes of Dave Allen, bro, because obviously Fisher is being as talked up, and they're trying to push him as one of the next up-and-coming heavyweights. Is it just that cool? You're just gonna be a British level then? That's you. If you can't get past the likes of Dave Allen.
Weird thing is to say, bro. The heavyweight landscape right now, I've seen us write off fighters.
Yeah.
You're at this level, and then all of a sudden they come on leaps and bounds, they surge, they go on a run, they start dominating. Or we've seen fighters do that and then fall off.
Opposite.
Yeah. Completely crash. Choice, yeah.
Yep.
Namely. So it could go any way.
Yeah.
But it's rare that we see at the level of a Dave Allen.
Yeah.
So, look, it could be a stopping block. We have a good domestic landscape at a minute where you could fight a Solomon Dakers or look at David Alea. I always happily see him in the ring.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna get entertainment there.
I just say, I'm not even like we're not big like Dave Allen isn't like trash. You know what I'm saying? Like Dave Allen's actually like not to be like Dave Allen's actually pretty decent. Like he's a decent heavyweight. I'm not gonna say he's trash. Bro,
he's a big fan favorite.
Massive fan favorite.
Exciting fights.
And he's not terrible. Like he's not terrible. But I just feel like if you're looking to be somebody in this heavyweight game at British level, anyways, someone like Dave Allen, you should be able to get past. But yeah, we'll see. Like you said, as you say, Flowz, the cream always rises to the top. Let's see if he has the minerals to do it. Fisher, how badly does he want it? Because to be honest, they are stepping him up in competition. If we could keep it a buck, because before Allen it was Babbage, right? Who he took care of. But apart from that, the only names like that we know, Babbage, which he took care of in one round, and Allen. So This is the start of you moving up in levels. So you're gonna have to, you yourself have to step up as well to show that you have got it and you can move up in levels. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting one. We'll see how it goes. But I do expect Johnny Fisher to come through it, and it probably will be an exciting fight, to be honest. It's in the cover box arena. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it should be an exciting fight still. I'm just looking at the undercard, bro. John Hedges, wow, it's been a while since we saw him, bro. John
Yeah.
Hedges is on the card. He's fighting Nathan Corliss. This is the English cruiserweight title eliminator. Kieran Conway's on there. George Lidard, Sims, a couple like domestic. It's basically a domestic card. Up and coming fighters.
Where's
Yeah,
this one? Manchester? Is it Manchester or somewhere? Right now?
Copper box.
Copper box. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, should be a nice one.
Yeah.
Cool. Flowz, before you wrap up, I do have something.
I know what you're.
Yeah, I do have something to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Because it was rumored for a while, to be fair, but we edit. I know you edit, I edit. But the part of me said I wouldn't be surprised if it happens because I've seen Mauricio Suleiman operate for a long time in this game. It was announced a couple of days ago that Manny Pacquiao is coming out of retirement to challenge Mario Barrios for the WBC 147-pound belt. So that was the rumor for a hot minute, to be fair, and it's official. It's happening. It's true. And yeah, a fight we don't care about, a fight that we're not going to give too much coverage to be fair, because what's the point? But it's just Mauricio Suleiman, man. Where's the integrity? Like, bro, like, come on, man. I'm not even gonna. It's not to do with Barrios. You know, this is Mauricio Suleiman. Pacquiao's. We last saw him 4 years ago. He got cooked by Ugas, destroyed, battered by Ugas 4 years ago, right? He's 46, 47. This fight shouldn't be happening. Let's be real. How does he get to just walk in and challenge for the belt straight away? What about all the people fighting mandatories, all that kind of stuff? How does Pacquiao just get a shot just like that? It's making a mockery, I think, of the WBC stand-ins. All those guys fighting for position. It's a mockery of the sport a little bit because really and truly Pacquiao shouldn't be fighting. We last saw him 4 years ago, and like I said, he looked bad. Ugas battered him. And yeah, it's just pointless, man. But WBC like to do this. They like to do these cash grabs. If Barrios loses this, I'd never want to see him again in the boxing ring, to be honest. He shouldn't lose. He shouldn't lose to a 46, 47-year-old Pac-Man who's 4 years out the ring. Bro, if he loses, Barrios should never fight again.
Pacquiao had an exhibition last year, no? It was an exhibition or something where he looked terrible as well.
Yeah. Yeah, he did have an exhibition last year. I didn't pay attention to that because it wasn't real. But is he broke?
Yeah. Maybe. No, he can't be. He can't be.
He shouldn't be.
Person in the Philippines. He can't be broke. He's the most. He was there. The prime. What was he running for? He was doing the politician thing over there.
He
does music.
He's heavy into his music. Yep, acting. I'm sure as well.
Yeah, he's definitely not low bread. But maybe I don't know what the Filipino economy is looking like, but he's the man there. He's the. But I know he's getting paid in dollars.
He's getting bread for this, but it's just why Suleiman? Why Mauricio Suleiman? Why?
Yeah, look, it doesn't make any sense. And the sad thing is, prime Pacquiao cooks Barrios is the truth.
Oh yeah, come on now. It's not even a.
Yeah, he loses this, and it makes no sense why he's even in this position. It's once again we look at the WBC. This is the body that protected Wilder, allowed him not to fight any mandatories, done all this for him. They're doing it again. I don't know what they're doing this time, but it's always the WBC. Yeah. We know he would have come out and fight Boots. I know he's not trying to unify. I really don't know what he's doing here. But look, Barrios has probably got a payday. So shout out to Barrios. Because that's about it.
Yeah. 4 years out the ring. We're not watching this. 4 years out the ring.
It's just
4. No one's to see. But you know what's going to happen, right, Flowz? Pacquiao's probably somehow going to win. And you know who's at 147, who's been calling out Pacquiao for a long time?
Oh,
Mr. Ben is there.
he
Yeah, he's
has
been calling
been,
Pacquiao.
hasn't he?
Bro, for time.
Time.
For time. Even we'll say,
Well,
when
yeah,
you
what?
Pacquiao, he's retired. He was calling him out when he was retired.
Ben Brook, he was called out retired fighters. Ben Brook and Khan.
And Khan,
And-
yeah.
Yeah, no, Pacquiao, Brook,
Pacquiao, Brook, and Khan, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's been calling out Pacquiao. So if Pacquiao wins this with a title now, watch them I'll be surprised if Ben Pacquiao gets made somehow. The way Ben will run his mouth again, say, yeah, Pacquiao, I'm ready for you, this, that. It's loading. If Barrios loses, it's loading.
You've seen the play.
Brother, we see Pacquiao Ben does big numbers.
Huge numbers.
Ben's stock is like this right now. What? Nah, Flowz, don't make me sick. If Ben pulls this...
Ben's got clear if he gets that. If he does that. Ben is clear.
Brother, let's be real. Ben will cook Pacquiao, to be honest. I think so. No, the play is looking frightening. I'm peeping it. That's crazy.
If that play manifests,
you know what,
Ben's
Ben?
the face of British boxing.
Brother, you might argue that he might have had a better career. His career is comparable to his dad's. So, yeah, crazy.
Yo, yeah, Barrios.
Crazy. Yeah. Barrios, don't let the team down, bro. Be prideful. Be prideful. Because Ugas, bro, Ugas washed Pacquiao. Washed him.
Yeah.
We saw that performance. He washed him. I didn't realize how remember, you got it right. I predicted the Pacquiao will win. You predicted Ugas, and Ugas, it was easy.
Yeah.
I think he stopped him, no?
Did he? I can't remember. I know it was a washing. He handled him. I'm just thinking Ben and Pacquiao might still happen anyway, regardless of outcome.
Yeah, it's even if he loses, it could still happen, to be honest. No, he didn't stop him. He was UD, but yeah. Pacquiao being back in again, watch Ben go for the call out again. And bro, that fight does crazy numbers, Ben Pacquiao. Because Hearn will try and deliver it. Let's keep it about Hearn will try and deliver it. So yeah, we'll see. But silly fight teammate, shouldn't be happening. He's too old, 4 years out the ring. And it's just pointless. He's not going to go anywhere. He's not adding to the division. He'll grab it, hold it for a bit, and then retire again and, relinquish. It's pointless. Because, as you said, there's no way Pacquiao's going to fight Boots. There's no flipping way. Ain't no way. But to be honest, bro, if Pacquiao's going to be around, if I'm every other weight division, I'm calling him out too. That's the easy cash grab against a legend on your resume as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Cool. Flowz, let's leave it there. This has been episode 247 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, you know where to find us on the streaming platforms. Peace.
You taking a strap? I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.